have to go into surgery, and it's like the scariest thing in the world. I keep thinking about how I want to be home with my kids. I will keep you guys posted.
Bitch, she can get whatever. My nigga spoil me, he don't make it no better. Take a trip, my December better weather. You know my pretty friends pop out to whatever.
What's up? It's your girl Ash, and welcome back to another video. So guys, it's the dedication for me because I'm on lunch right now and I'm making a video for y'all. I'm doing a mukbang and story time. I have rice and beans, salmon, and green beans. Thumbnail. Let's get into this because I am starving. Let me tell y'all what the story time is going to be about. How I found out I had an ectopic pregnancy. Crazy experience. Before I get into that, let me try the food. Okay, so the salmon. Okay. That's good. Hold on. All right, so first disclaimer, this is just my personal story. Every woman has a different experience. You are currently going through this, or just recently went through this, or even have ever went through this. My heart goes out to you because this is a lot and it's not your fault, yet you just feel all the guilt in the world as a woman. My heart is with you. So an ectopic pregnancy is basically the sperm fertilizes in your tube. As women, we have our uterus and we have our tubes that connect to our two ovaries. And the baby is trying to implant itself. It goes through the tube and into the ovary. The baby went through the tube and implanted in the tube. The baby can't survive in there, but the baby does grow to a certain point before, unfortunately, cannot make it any longer. Once it gets to about a certain size, your tube can rupture, cause you internal bleeding, and you can die. How did I find out that I was pregnant? My last normal period was January 22nd. This year, we all knew that February was a short month. Got my next bleeding in the beginning of May. I didn't think nothing of it because, like I said, February is a short month. So when the bleeding began, a few days after, I started having abdominal pain. The way I could describe it is like gas pain. I didn't think nothing of it. I thought maybe like I had trapped gas and it needed to pass. 2 to 3 days passed. I'm like, there's no way I could still have trapped gas. Like, I know I'm feeling pain in my pelvic area. Maybe I have a UTI. I don't know what to think. There's an urgent care 2 minutes from my job walking. So I said, I'm gonna just walk there. So I went to the urgent care clinic and I explained to them my symptoms. They took my urine. She came back. She said, your urine is fine, but you're pregnant. I felt all the blood leave my body and go straight to my head. I couldn't believe what she told me. I just had a 6-month-old. I was not ready for a baby. I was not trying to have a baby. I went 4 years clean without having a baby in between. I never accidentally got pregnant. So I was like taken aback. But she was like, you might be having a miscarriage. It's a lot of blood. I do advise you get checked out. I told my boss, got in my car and drove myself to the hospital nearby. Hours and hours of waiting. They did pelvic ultrasound and vaginal ultrasound. So uncomfortable because I already have pain. So like when they did that vaginal ultrasound, that shit was hurting. They saw the baby in the tube. My mind, all these hours of waiting for a doctor to talk to me, I'm like, this is all my fault. I have a 6-month-old. I'm constantly carrying. Then I use the doona. Y'all know with the doona, you have to lift up the doona and put it in the car and lift it out the car to take it out. So all that lifting, I'm like, it's my fault. Y'all probably wondering, she doesn't use protection. She's not on birth control. I was on birth control. I was on the pill. My OBGYN strongly suggested that I go on the pill. I was on Depo-Provera. That's the injection that lasts for 3 months for a very long time. And she suggested that I go on the pill. I know myself, my busy schedule, my kids. I'm gonna forget. Like, if you have to take it at 7 a.m. every single day, I wouldn't. I would take it at 8 p.m., 7 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m. Like, whenever I can. It's definitely part of my fault. The doctor finally comes talk to me. They explain it to me. Just like, whoa, like, I didn't even know what an ectopic pregnancy was. Even if I did hear it once before, I never thought that would be me. She told me that. I was like, how? I started questioning, like, God, and I was just like, you created a soul for me. It didn't even make it into this world. Why did you even create it? Through time, eventually, I understand that God's plan is God's plan. You never question it. I didn't understand it. God understands it. And God's plan is God's plan. And I wasn't ready for a baby. So they offered me an injection or surgery. The injection is like they use for cancer patients. This injection dissolves the pregnancy from the inside. As someone who never had surgery before, I'm terrified. I don't want to go under anesthesia, go to sleep. I never even had anesthesia to know if I'm allergic to anesthesia. So I chose the injection. 80% chance the pregnancy will dissolve itself. Usually 2 doses do the work for surgery. And they gave me the injection. Had to follow up with the hospital every 2 days. My hormone levels were going down. It started about like 2,700. I had to reach 0 to say I wasn't pregnant anymore. It was going down. It went all the way down to 1,200 within the week, right? It's okay to go back to work. I was sitting at my desk talking with a patient. All of a sudden, I felt like the most excruciating pain ever. It felt like someone had knives and was just like going like this in my uterus. I called my boss from the bathroom, explaining to her like, I think I have to go to the hospital. I couldn't drive myself. I had to call an ambulance, and the ambulance had to take me to the hospital. Sirens on, they had to rush me to the hospital. Again, transvaginal ultrasound. They checked me. Again, they don't tell me right away. I have to wait hours before I talk to a doctor. Doctor comes to me. He tells me that my tube has ruptured. Immediately, I start crying. I'm like, I know I have to get in surgery. Like, this is what I was trying to avoid. I've been going to the hospital every 2 days. I'm tired. Mentally, I'm tired. By that time, my fiance already met me at the hospital. He's with me. It didn't rupture, like pop severely, but it was leaking. And that was the pain that I was feeling. A lot of anxiety. I kept praying to God because I know God got me. They took me into the operating room. Now, if you ever been through surgery, that's like the scariest feeling. The way I could describe it, I'm rolling in the bed. Remember those kitchens in the lunchroom at school? I'm going through there. Like, I'm terrified. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying to keep it together. They put me like through the double doors. They tell me to move from the patient bed to the operating table. Once I got on that operating table, I couldn't hold my tears anymore. I just remember the anesthesiologist come next to me and tell me he's gonna give me something that is gonna relax me. Boom, snap, commercial break. It wasn't like the movies make it seem like you're like drowsing and they're fading away. No, that's all I remember. Let's talk healing after surgery. I couldn't do any lifting for 2 weeks. I'm a mom of 2, okay? I just had a baby. I have a 6-month-old. All he needs is lifting. I have my daughter. Like, I can't, what do you mean lifting? I have to bend down all the time. I have to lift things all the time. I have to do. Like, it's one thing to not do when you don't feel like doing, but when someone tells you you can't do for 2 weeks, 2 weeks felt like the longest 2 weeks of my entire life. Constantly calling my fiance, babe, can you please take the baby from here to there? Like, I couldn't even move him from one seat to the next seat. It made me feel so helpless and so useless, and like, it was just so hard for me. Like, all the mental drainage I was already going through with the whole ectopic pregnancy, constant hospital visits, long hours in these hospitals, like, and you're telling me I can't lift up my son, I can't do what I do as a mom, what I do best. That's like the only thing I had left in this moment, and you're telling me I can't even do that. And I know it was so hard for my fiance as well, because it's like everything fell on top of him. I can only imagine waiting for your partner while she's in surgery, having to figure out where the kids are gonna be, moving them while you go stay in the hospital with your fiance, back and forth. Then you get home, you not only gotta take care of the kids, but then having to take care of your fiance who can't even get in the shower by herself. So it's like, I know it was like very hard for him, but he has been so supportive. He has helped me. I've never even had to ask. He never once made me feel like I can't ask. Shout out to my man. Even when things are not understanding, trust God. You gotta think of it like, what if it did play through? I see why God wanted it this way. You get what I'm saying? You never know. That pregnancy could have been a pregnancy that could have took my life. I just know that I have my child. That's still my child. I'm gonna meet my child one day in heaven. My kids have a sibling up there. It's so sad to think about. And if this is something that you're going through, just know that you're not alone. It's already hard for women that don't plan it. So I could only imagine women that plan this pregnancy, like how hard it could be for them to, you know, you tried so hard to have a baby, you got your baby, and now you're finding out like it was a miscarriage, and you possibly could lose a tube, which makes it even harder to get pregnant. We go through a lot to get pregnant, through pregnancy, after pregnancy. Our life as women are a lot. So my heart goes out to you if this is something that you went through or are going to. So that's my story time. That was like very a very vulnerable part of me to share with you guys. Just thought I'd share it to people out there that was looking for it like I was. So I was definitely like trying to figure out, what is this? What am I expecting? I'm gonna close out the video. I enjoyed my lunch break with you guys, and I love you guys. Peace.